An airplane involved in Australia's largest civilian evacuation nearly half a century ago lives a second life as an Austin Powers-style conference room. Key points: the plane holds a special place in Cyclone Tracy lore, after evacuating hundreds of people in 1974. The plane holds a special place in Cyclone Tracy knowledge, after evacuating hundreds of people in 1974. The current owners were surprised to learn of his past life. Trans-Australia Airlines 727 VHTBK was only a month old when, December 27, 1974, after Hurricane Tracy hit the city on Christmas Day, it evacuated 877 Darwin residents, 2 flights to Mount Isa. Darwin-based aviation enthusiast Bruce Dale joined the dots and tracked the plane in Denmark on a recent avgeek pilger. Mr. Dale's interest stemmed from the aircraft's pioneering, but now commonplace tourism outlook. It was one of the first airplanes to be painted in colours that represented Central Australia at the time, so I was looking at history of that plane, Joe Laverty ABC told ABC. The world's first tourist appearance aircraft, at the TAA terminal in Sydney on May 22, 1980. Secret story: Bruce Dale controls the cockpit of the old TAA 727 VHTBK in Denmark. Working in aviation industry, Mr. Dale later revealed the aircraft's contribution to Cyclone Tracy evacuation efforts. I met most of the staff involved in the evacuation, he said. A very tangible connection to that pivotal time in Darwin and Australian history. The current owners were not aware of the source. It almost brought them to tears, he said. The plane was used in the evacuation very early, meaning it would have been carrying some of Darwin's most critically injured. These Darwin residents were evacuated by another TAA plane. New life: the interior of the 727's aircraft, now called Lady Patricia. The aircraft is featured in the Cyclone Tracy permanent exhibition at the NT Museum and Art Gallery. The Danish consulting firm, aptly named the 727, preserved the aircraft for use conference facilities, as well as a marketing demonstration. They set it up in all the weird 1970s Austin Powers colors in one piece, said Mr. Dale. The aircraft is used by marketing consultants in Denmark. 727 General Manager Flemming Koch learned of plane's importance when he was stunned by the news about Turkey earthquake. I felt immediately that this disaster was quite significant for Australians, he said. You were touched when you heard that story and that this plane was a part of it. 727 founders Flemming Koch and Tom Christensen in their historic Boeing. Mr. Koch said the aircraft contributed to the success of his business. We have to do something that stands out for ourselves. We move customers from one point to another. Owning a plane would be the greatest thing. School children visit the plane for excursions. Facebook content loading job opportunity: Mr. Koch and his partner, Tom Christensen, purchased the decaying aircraft at Southend Airport in England in 2003 for $50,000. In an expensive 18-month period, they shipped it disassembled to Denmark by ferry and by road in a special trailer to their offices. We had to buy the whole deck for this truck, he said. It was a pretty cheap ferry ticket. People were saying we were crazy. The plane is parked at the company's terminal-style offices in Denmark. In-flight entertainment and Airfix model shows the tourist view of the aircraft. Mr. Koch said the plane's new location, as a landmark along one of Denmark's main highways, caused danger. He said police were asking people to stop parking on the highway to take pictures. We've attracted new colleagues, said Mr. Koch. We attracted new customers and grew. This is what we wanted to happen when we came up with this idea. The aircraft provides approximately 100 square meters of space for a lounge, bar, meeting room and creative room used daily for meetings, presentations and interviews. Many customers ask, "Can we use your plane for a meeting?" he asks. And yes, of course, he said. He said that kindergartens also make special trips to plane and are among the thousands of visitors touring unique workplace. Heathermester and Kathy Buntain remember their evacuation after Hurricane Tracy. Memories still raw. December 27, 1974 was Kathy Buntain's 17th birthday, but there was no celebration. She is now 65 years old, and her father William left his family at Darwin Airport because the boys had to stay and clean, she said. There were people with crying babies and some of them bandaged. Everyone was stunned. They were put on another plane, not the TBK, to Alice Springs. A salient memory of her sister, Heathermester, who was 14 at the time, was seeing a bloody, unwashed woman sitting nearby on the ship. She was still wearing a nightgown and had a headband, said Ms. Mester, now 63. I often think of him and think, oh, you poor thing. I can't imagine what he might have been through. There were a lot of people who had gone through much worse than what we've been through.